3 brains, 3 lives, 3 stories. And we all have our own stories. But tonight, we're going to be very pleased to have them share theirs with us. So thank you, all 3 of you, for your courage, your confidence, and your example in leading very full lives.
When I got my first Parkinson's book, I read about DBS, deep brain stimulation, and I said, oh, it's not me, forget about it. So when it was suggested by my neurologist that maybe this is something I ought to consider, what he said to me is, if you want to make a dramatic difference, this is the last thing you can do. But then I realized later that the likelihood that the Parkinson's was going to worsen is 100%. It's a degenerative disease. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. On the other hand, the success rate in Toronto at the Western is about 98%. So my attitude is it's 100% likely that I'm going to be worse and 98% likely I'm going to be better. So someone said, you're going to put your brain in the hands of a surgeon? I said, well, if I don't put my brain in the hands of a surgeon, I'm going to put my life in the hands of Parkinson's. So at that point, it was a really easy decision. It was 6 hours of surgery at the Western. They drilled 2 holes in your skull, which is an interesting experience. They didn't turn the electricity on. I have a pacemaker type device under my skin now. It's planned. It's part of the routine. So they put it in, and then 2 months later, they turn on the electricity. They want to get it settled in, make sure there are no complications, no internal bleeding or whatever. Because again, I'm going from, when you go in there after they install it, you don't take any meds at all, because they want to see what part the meds are playing and what part the stimulation is playing. I'm sitting there like, it's hard to describe. It's like this, just like this, immobilized. Turn it on, 4 or 5 minutes later, I'm getting up and I'm walking right down the hall. Very dramatic.
I had been having these what are called simple partial seizures. And in me, they manifested with a small disturbance in my field of vision that lasted for about 5 to 10 seconds. So then when I was 19, I had my first tonic-clonic, or what you may have heard as a grand mal seizure. And I was diagnosed with epilepsy. You have absolutely 0 control of your body, and that's really terrifying. I was no longer able to use the toilet by myself. I needed help bathing. I wasn't able to cook. Knives and stoves were considered too dangerous. On Thursday, November 25th, 2010, I went in for successful resection, where they removed as much as a small tangerine from my right parietal lobe during an 8.5-hour surgery. I've been seizure-free ever since. Yes, it hurt. And the recovery was not easy. But was it worth it? Yes. This surgery gave me my life back, and I am so grateful. It's obviously not an option for everyone, and not every surgery has the same outcome as mine. But I came out of this surgery feeling the need to make a difference. And if we can increase the awareness of this surgery and other treatment options, that can make a difference.
This sort of captures what people think ADHD is, which is kind of this crazy excitement. Some people have called it a gift. Some people have said if it's a gift, it's really hard to unwrap it. So getting this diagnosis for me was an explanation. It was a relief to find out that this is what it is. It's way better to discover you're short of certain neurochemicals than to find out you're a bad father, a bad husband, a lazy person, or that you lack willpower. Because what do you do about a lack of gumption? I don't want anyone to have to take medication, but if it makes the difference between success and failure, if it allows you to actually be able to sit and do the exercise you need to do and do the mindful meditation, which is showing to be so helpful, all of the other things that you start putting in place, if you can do those, and one of the 2 authors of You Mean I'm Not Lazy, Stupid, or Crazy, Kate Kelly told us in the interview, she said, I would not have been able to access all the other things that have helped me to handle my ADHD completely if I hadn't started with some medication.